From your Potomac Beads March 2023 Treasure Subscription Box, the Dark Night Pendant. You'll need your large black oval, the size 11 Miyuki semi-frosted pale blue beads, the size 8 black Miyuki seed beads, and the Potomac crystal round beads and the metallic blue iris finish, size 2mm. Open up your box and pull out these supplies. In step 1, we'll be making the center line of beads. Step 2, we'll be adding the peyote band around the flat oval. Step 3, we're going to embellish the edge with our 2mm crystals. And step 4, we'll add this little detail down here at the bottom. I'm going to start with 5 feet of blue wildfire on a size 12 beading needle. We're going to needle through the large oval and leaving just a little tail. Picking up 5 black, 6 blue, and 5 black. Needle back through your oval. Time to repeat that on the other side. Using the same count of beads, needle back through the oval. And now we're going to needle down through all the beads we added the first time. Your working thread is now coming out here down by the tail. I'm going to pull these tight and knot it right here 2 times. My little pro tip is to take a pair of pliers that have some teeth on them and really grab onto your thread. It gives you more grip strength to pull that knot very tight. I'm finished with the tail and I'm going to trim it off. We're just going to fill in these gaps between our seed beads with 3 more size 8 seed beads. Needle up to the other end. Add 3 more of the size 8 seed beads, coming down through your beads and exiting just past the last blue size 11. Go ahead and retrace all these seed beads and come back out right here where you are. I'm not going to teach you how to do even count peyote. I'm guessing if you have a bead subscription box, you already know how to do that. Instead, I think it'll be more helpful to give you counts and show you how to zip it up into the blue strip on your other side. So go ahead and start working on your even count peyote strip. Work on your flat even count peyote strip until you have 11 beads up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 12 beads down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're ready to flip this over and zip it into this existing section of blue. Working with my thread up here at the top, I'm going to needle down through the very first blue bead, and that will go ahead and pull those together. Needle into the sticking out one here on the band. And then through this third one down. Into the next sticking out bead here on the band. I'm going to hold everything together with one of my fingers and pull my thread tight. Coming through the blue one just before the end. And then stepping into the very last one here. And then again putting my finger on top and really pulling tight. Next, we're going to needle up into the blue one here on the end. To start the next row, we have to needle through our work up here to this bead. You can go straight up through all these, but I'm going to come over here and grab this one. See if I can pull it a little closer. And then come through this one. Just working my way up here to the end until you're exiting the last blue bead here. And now we can continue working on our flat even count peyote. The easiest way to tell if you have enough length to go ahead and add it back into the band is just by feel. You just want to make sure that's tight, and when pulled together, the two beads touch. You don't want it to be able to overlap or have a gap. So right now, pulling it tight, I have my two beads touching. I know I'm ready to zip it together. Really, doing it by feel is the best way. Now that I know I have enough length, I'll go ahead and needle into the blue one here on this side and pull the two blue beads together. Next, step into the sticking out over here from your band. Then come through the third one up on your fixed side, through the next sticking out here on the band that you were working on, coming through this one on your fixed side, and then stepping into the very last one here on the end. I'm going to go ahead and turn this in my hand. Now I have the working thread down here at the bottom, and I need to needle up here to this very first black size 8. Needle into your blue bead here and pull it all together. Continue working your way up the rows. And then I want to finish by coming through the blue bead that is most directly underneath the black size 8s. And you can start needling through your size 8s. Come through a total of 7 size 8 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, we're going to add the sparkle along the edge of our bead. We're going to be adding 6 to each of the 4 sections around our black oval. Go ahead and pick up 6 of your 2mm round crystals. Coming out the 7th seed bead, I'm going to bring my crystals down next to the beads. And determine which one of these size 11 seed beads along the edge is most in the middle. And that would be this one. Next, I have to determine which one of these two down here I want to come out of to add the next section. I think it'll be this one right here. Go ahead and needle through your work. Coming out the seed bead that you feel is right along the edge. Picking up 6 more of the crystals. You want to come through your center black size 8 seed bead, which will be the 7th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And just go ahead and repeat that for the next 2 sections along your black oval. When you add your last section of crystals, enter into the opposite side of the size 8 from where you started. So coming through. I want the crystals around the oval to be nice and secure, so I'm going to retrace it one time. As a helpful hint, when you get back up to your peyote band, instead of needling back into the exact same seed bead that you did, try coming into one beside it to help even out the tension on your crystals. And see how that makes it sit just a little better along the edge. And again, when I'm ready to start into the next section of crystals, I'll come from a bead beside them and then start through my crystals. And you can see how doing that just adds the right tension to get the crystals to sit nice along the edge. Coming back through the center size 8, coming through my third section of crystals. I'm not going to come straight into the same seed bead that my thread is from before, but one beside it. Again, that just adds a nice tension to hold those crystals along the edge. Again, before I go into the fourth section of crystals, I'll make sure that I'm coming out a seed bead next to them and then into the crystals. See how that just makes it sit so nice along the edge. Next, we're going to add these 2 keystone beads that sit right here. So I'm going to continue needling around a little further until I'm coming out right here before the last crystal. Now that I've made it down here, I'm just going to pick up one of the size 11 seed beads and come through the next crystal. The size 8 and one more crystal. I'll be adding one more seed bead here. So picking it up and needling into the next crystals. This time I just need to needle up here to the top, and then we're taking a shortcut through the center of the bead. And now that we've come through the crystals, we just need to needle through the black oval bead coming out down here. Now my thread is coming out the black oval bead. I'm going to needle through the center size 8 here at the bottom, through one crystal, and step into the size 11 that we added. Now that you're coming out of your size 11 seed bead, we're going to be adding this section down here at the bottom. I did mine in a mix of black size 8 seed beads and the crystals. I'm going to begin with 4 of the black size 8 seed beads and come back through the size 11 that my thread is exiting. Needle through the first size 8, one crystal into the next size 8, one seed bead, and one more crystal. We'll come back through our size 8, and you can also come through the size 11 here. Follow your thread path and come back up through the crystal. Coming up through the crystal, picking up one seed bead, one crystal, and one more seed bead. Needle back through the crystal that your thread is exiting. Needle into your size 8, and into the next crystal. I feel that this little right angle weave unit is loose, so I'm just going to retrace it one time. Much better. Back through the 8 and ending through this crystal. Picking up 4 more of my size 8 seed beads, needling back through the other side of the crystal that my thread is exiting, and pulling those on. No beads, just needle through the first black size 8, picking up 1 more size 8, and coming into the next one. Picking up 1 crystal and coming into the next size 8. Now we're going to connect this section right here with the existing size 11. Then come into the next size 8. I'm going to follow my thread path around until I'm coming out my size 8 down here at the bottom. So coming through the crystal, through the 8, up through the crystal towards your big oval bead, then just needle around and down to this 8. Continuing on to add the little drop at the bottom. I'm going to pick up 4 of the black 8s and 2 of the crystals and bring those next to my work. Skipping the crystal on the end, I'm going to needle back through 1 crystal and 1 size 8. Just make sure that this is all pulled up nice and tight, maybe hanging onto the crystal at the end and getting out any slack in your line. I'm going to finish by picking up 3 more of these size 8 seed beads and coming through this one right here. I want to finish by coming out up here at the top. I'm going to come around to the bottom of the bead and needle through it. And through the next crystal, that's bezeling the edge of your oval. And then needle through your oval. And now you'll be coming out your oval bead. Now that I'm coming out this middle oval bead, I just need to step through the center size 8 here, and I'll be ready to start work on a necklace strand. I have a design idea in mind for my necklace strand. Perhaps you want to follow along or make your own. 1/8, one of these long bicone beads, and I'll do 2 seed beads, 2 crystals, and 2 seed beads. Okay, this is going to be fine. I'm going to work on a simple long chain just to throw over my neck. Easy wear, repeating my pattern. After stringing the design for my necklace strand, I'm about ready to finish attaching it to the pendant. I'll come back through my long bicone, back through the size 8 that I added underneath the bicone, and then I'm going to needle back through the middle size 8 that sits here above my oval. I'm going to retrace my necklace just to make sure it's nice and secure. I hope this pendant and necklace gave you some inspiration, whether you just do a peyote band around an existing bead that you have, or take bits and parts and make it your own. As always, I hope you have a beautiful day.